In tonight's headlines, the defense argues on a colonial-era legislation on the first day of media tycoon Jimmy Lai's national security trial. President Xi praises Chief Executive John Lee for safeguarding national security in Hong Kong. And 4,700 people overcharged at the Western Harbour Crossing under the time-varying toll mechanism. Security was beefed up outside the West Kowloon Magistracy this morning, ahead of the national security trial for jailed media tycoon Jimmy Lai. Hong Kong police will deploy 1,000 officers round the clock for the next 3 months to guard the West Kowloon Court during the trial. All vehicles entering the premises will be scanned before they are allowed to enter the parking area. Lai, 76, the founder of the now-defunct Apple Daily, is facing charges for conspiracy to collude with foreign forces and conspiring to print seditious publications. He has spent nearly 3 years in custody. During deliberations with the prosecution in the presence of national security judges Esther Cho, Susana de Almada Remedios, and Alex Lee, senior counsel Robert Pang focused on the sedition charge against the media mogul under a colonial-era law. Pang pointed out that the prosecution had passed the time limit to charge Lai, as the legislation stated that charges must be laid within 6 months of the alleged offense. He noted that the seditious articles were published between April 1, 2019 and June 24, 2021. But Lai was first taken to court only on December 28 that year, 4 days after the legal deadline. The prosecution could not accumulate the indictable offenses beyond the 6-month time frame, Pang added. The high-profile trial, which is expected to last for 80 days, has drawn a lot of attention. More than 50 people queued outside the courthouse to attend the trial, which included consular representatives of the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Canada, Switzerland, Australia, and the United States. The deputy head of the European Union office in Hong Kong was also present. Janice Low, Cable News. On the second day of his duty visit to Beijing, Chief Executive John Lee met President Xi Jinping at Zhongnanhai, the headquarters of the Communist Party. Premier Li Qiang and Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office Director Xia Baolong were among those present.
中央对你和特别行政区政府的工作是充分肯定的。
Xi praised the SAR leaders' efforts for safeguarding national security and successfully conducting the recently held district council elections. Beijing has full confidence in the city's future, Xi added.
衷心感谢习主席和中央政府。
Li expressed his gratitude towards Beijing's continuous care and support. He pointed out that the recent election has allowed the principle of patriots ruling Hong Kong to be implemented at district level.
On the first working day since the time-varying toll system was implemented at the 3 harbour crossings starting yesterday, traffic at the Cross Harbour Tunnel and the Western Harbour Crossings was relatively smooth this morning. Authorities expected more private vehicles would use the tunnel in Hong Kong before 7:30 a.m. to take advantage of the $20 fee. But the surge in toll to $40 during peak hours did not deter many from doing so. Long queues could be seen at the Kowloon end of Cross Harbour Tunnel after 8:30 a.m. There were similar scenes at the Western Harbour Crossings, where the traffic pace picked up roughly around 9 a.m. Passengers on public buses heading to Hong Kong Island said their journey time through the Western Crossing was shorter. This woman said her travel time was reduced by almost 15 minutes as there were less number of cars passing through the tunnel today. Although bus passengers were happy, the new arrangement was not welcomed by red minibus operators using the Cross Harbour Tunnel. Minibuses drivers who paid $10 before now have to pay an all-day uniform toll of $50 for the 3 tunnels. This has prompted around 8 routes to increase their fares by $2 to $6. Zheng Honhua, chairman of Public Light Bus Owner and Driver Association, said the jump in tolls was shocking, and drivers had no option but pass on the extra cost to passengers. In response, Transport and Logistics Minister Lam Sai Hong said a flat rate of $50 is most appropriate for now. Drivers could save on fuel costs when there is less congestion in the tunnels, he added. Meanwhile, there was a glitch in the toll charging system, and lawmaker Gary Zhang was one of the victims who was overcharged at the Western Harbour Crossings during non-peak hours. One of our iCable reporters also witnessed the same firsthand. The system charged drivers $60, even though the toll display board at the tunnel entrance showed a lower fee. Commissioner for Transport Angela Lee apologized to 4,700 drivers who were wrongly charged between 10 and 11 a.m. Lee said HKE toll service provider made a human error and referred to an old toll plan instead of the new one. She requested the service provider to carry out an investigation and submit a report. Around 3,400 drivers have received a refund, while the remaining drivers who have not paid tolls have been notified about the correct fee. Maisie Mock, Cable News. Israeli ground troops have continued their offensive, engaging Hamas fighters in many locations throughout the Gaza Strip. Amid rising calls for a ceasefire, hundreds of Israelis attended a funeral in the town of Shavayim in central Israel for one of the 3 hostages killed by the Israeli army. All 3 were mistaken for Hamas fighters. The captives were among more than 240 people who were abducted during a raid by Hamas into southern Israel over 2 months ago. Israeli air raids have continued their assaults in Gaza. The Mubarak hospital in the city of Khan Yunis was struck, killing 1 girl and injuring several others. So far, the Israeli offensive has killed more than 19,000 Palestinians. Essential supplies are in severe shortage, and desperate Palestinians are trying to get their hands on aid that is trickling into Gaza.
The northern part of Australia's Queensland state has been hit with record rainfall, flooding towns and closing the region's major airport. Planes were submerged at Cairns Airport, stranding thousands of passengers. Extreme weather driven by a tropical cyclone dumped a year's worth of rain in some areas. So far, no deaths or missing people have been reported. Earlier, more than 300 people were evacuated by helicopter from north of Cairns after communities were cut off by floodwaters. Forecasters said torrential rain would continue and rivers will remain swollen for days.